I forgot we needed to be in the newsroom with the toilets.
My favorite.
So it looks like, despite our really interesting conversation about the Steam Machine coming out, so one of the most interesting parts is it's a console that'll be competitive with the other consoles. They'll be able to attach itself to the Steam library, and that was really exciting. Mm-hmm. Well, it looks like the Steam Machine will likely be priced like a PC and not a console, and not be competitive with the consoles.
Oh, God.
So all that hope that this was going to be the new replacement is not going to be true. Looks like Xbox has a future, everybody.
It's going to have an even longer floundering death.
Yeah, according...
I got that feeling.
Yeah, we just didn't know.
Yeah. We didn't know for sure, but it was like, really? You think this is going to... I mean, it just seemed like too good to be true kind of thing for that price point.
Would have been nice, though.
To read a little bit of quotes from Computer Man. They did offer me one hint, though, that they said that while they expected to be very competitively priced with a PC, it'll be priced like a PC, rather than like a console, with games subsidizing the upfront hardware purchase. Because believe it or not, if we paid fully for the hardware of the PS5, it'd be a lot more expensive. They wouldn't say why, but if I had to guess, I'd say partially to avoid stepping on margin opportunities of their potential partners for Steam games and Steam software, but also because they recognize that the Steam Machine is a full-fledged PC. So there's no guarantee then that, say, a corporate purchase of 10,000 of these units would result in a single game sale. So they really do need to protect the sustainability of their hardware business. So yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't seem like it wants to compete with the consoles. So yes, all the hope that this is the future of consoles is a lie.
It makes sense. I mean, they don't want to have a loss leader like that. That's not their deal.
Well, most consoles have a number of how many games they have to sell per console before they start making money. And the Switch was actually a really great console because they started making money after the first game was sold.
Wow. That's really impressive.
Yes. Whereas usually it's like 3 or 4 games before it starts being profitable.
Yep.
So yeah, the Switch was immediately profitable out the gate, which is why it was so successful, which is why it's confusing the decisions they made with Switch 2. But I'm not Nintendo. I'm not as brilliant as they are. Moving on.
I'm just some guy.
I'm just some guy on the internet. The Game Awards 2025 has announced the Game of the Year picks as Claire Obscura seems to be dominating the field, Ross.
Well, I'm happy for it. I'm not that surprised, but I wonder... There's going to be some gnashing of teeth, I think, by a certain subset of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's apparently up for Game of the Year as not just a bunch of other different ones, but it's also up for Indie Game of the Year, which annoyed a bunch of people.
I was going to say, I have a feeling if it's in that realm, it's going to piss some people off.
Because they're like, well, does it really count as an indie game? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, what's the definition of indie game? Well, it has to be self-published. It's self-published. Well, it's too big a game to really count as indie. So it has to be janky and small to count as an indie game, is what you're telling me?
It's not 2D or 2.5D graphics, Red. So therefore...
Hollow Knight, I don't know. Does Hollow Knight count as indie? Hades 2?
I think so. It should. Shouldn't it?
Well, I don't know. Are they not self-published? Is Hollow Knight under the umbrella of something like Microsoft, or I don't know?
I don't think so. Let's look. Hollow Knight.
But as far as Game of the Year choices, I consider the Games of the Year to be fairly hollow, except for maybe one of them. 2, maybe? But the Game of the Year choices are Claire Obscura, Expedition 33, Death Stranding 2, Ross. Donkey Kong Bonanza, which is like the only good game currently on the Switch 2.
It's a good sign.
Hades 2.
Hollow Knight
Go ahead.
is self-published. Sorry, Team Cherry self-publishes.
Oh, well, it should be indie then.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight, Silk Song, Kingdom Deliverance 2. Didn't sell as good as the first one, considered Game of the Year. This is a thin Game of the Year.
It really is. I mean, we talk about how video games make more than Hollywood now, but boy, makes you wonder for how much longer, doesn't it?
If they're producing games like this.
Yeah. I mean, there's some good games there, don't get me wrong, but
well, as people who
this
notoriously
is not the best year.
do not consider the Game of the Year awards to be the standard when it comes to...
No. Because this, what's the name of the guy that runs this? But it's just his like little passion, his little passion project, mostly to publicly blow Hideo Kojima.
Yeah.
But you know,
yeah. Just well, and try and legitimize the Game of the Year as something it isn't.
yeah.
As in a standard and something worth anything. But you know, it will never be the Oscars, which are terrible.
No.
Paramount was planning a Last Ronin film, and it looks like it's being shifted to be directed by the Sonic the Hedgehog producer.
Oh,
Okay.
weird.
I don't know if Last Ronin's the right decision to make a film of.
No.
If any of you are familiar with the story, it's a Ninja Turtle story where basically all of the Ninja Turtles were murdered, and you get jaded, post-apocalyptic, violent Michelangelo who travels the countryside getting revenge for his murdered brothers. And he actually carries their weapons with him, like Raphael's size and the swords and stuff. And he becomes like a massive edgelord. It's an interesting sort of offshoot story. I don't know how successful that would have translated to a film, seeing as how the Ninja Turtles are always seen as like this goofy pop culture side thing. It has never been taken seriously since the first Ninja Turtles movie, but you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I like the idea of Last Ronin, but even is the Sonic guy the good decision to be heading up this film?
Yeah.
It seems a little daring.
It's kind of interesting that the Ninja Turtle comics have always been pretty dark and edgy, but because of the Saturday morning cartoon back in the, what was it, early 90s, that pop culture has definitely latched onto their goofy and colorful stuff.
Well, in the first comic, Shredder was murdered.
Yeah.
Like he dies.
Yep.
Yeah, the first Ninja Turtles movie is amazing. The second one gets goofy. Yes. I still like it, and the third one's terrible, and I still love it. Freaking go back to ancient Japan. There were complaints because of the first one that there's too much violence and stuff, which is why in the second one, though like swords exist and stuff, they don't swing them like they're going to hit anybody with the bladed weapons. They like smack them with the pommels and stuff.
Oh, God.
Which makes it really lame.
Very much so.
Yeah, we'll see if Sonic, producer, can pull off a Ninja Turtles edgelord film. I mean, if you wanted people to take it seriously, you could do it in black and white. Like, that'd be interesting.
Yeah.
The original Ninja Turtles were in black and white.
Yep.
As a lover of Ninja Turtles, I don't think it's the right story to adapt. I don't think it's adaptable to film.
No.
Mom, why is Michelangelo murdering those guys?
Very violently, too.
Either it's going to be toned down, so it's not going to have the same feel as the actual comics it's adapted from, or they're going to have to, let everybody know that, hey, yeah, Michelangelo kills people, which just doesn't fit his image.
Well, not the image people see him as.
Yeah.
Shifting on. So it looks like a season 4 of The Mandalorian was written and is ready on Jon Favreau's desk. And it seems like that's not happening in place of the movie. Now,
Wow.
the rumor was that basically the season was turned into the film, and according to Favreau, that's not true. He had the movie planned separately and the season 4 planned separately, and it doesn't look like season 4 is probably going to happen.
Oh.
So my dream of the final murder of Grogu is not going to be fulfilled.
Maybe it happened in the movie.
Well, you know, he gets his comeuppance where instead of him eating people, he will be eating himself. Digested in the Sarlacc pit for 1,000 years.
Oh, I'd love it.
I hate Grogu people. So here's an interesting side story that only I care about because I'm the only one that got to stick up his craw that I don't like Miles Morales. So one of the biggest problems with the Miles Morales character, which are many, is that they haven't really differentiated him. When you've had different versions of Spider-Man, they've called him different things. Scarlet Spider, Spider-Gwen, whatever you're going to call there's always a moniker that call them something different. But for some reason, they've been trying to have their cake and eat it too and imply that Miles Morales isn't lesser than Spider-Man. He's also Spider-Man, which doesn't work because it not only does it confuse readers where they don't understand which Spider-Man is Spider-Man because you're calling them both Spider-Man, but it also enrages readers because they want these people differentiated that Miles Morales isn't Spider-Man. He's a different character. And people imply that as meaning lesser than. I would say he's lesser than, but not because he's not named the same thing as Spider-Man. So it looks like this might actually be coming to a head, and Marvel is going to be forced to actually deal with this. And at some point in one of the comics, they call him Spin.
What?
Which is, look, as somebody who hates Miles Morales, that's a bad name. Like, I don't know.
Spiders spin webs, so we're going to call them Spin. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's essentially what they mean. But they call him Spin in Radioactive Spider-Man, and it's going to be stupid.
Whenever I see Spider-Man, whenever I see Miles Morales, and they're like, Miles Morales Spider-Man, I edit out the Spider-Man part, and I just say, this is Miles Morales. I don't even equate the two in my head.
That's not a brave take. Most people consider Miles Morales now to be Spider-Man. It's just they've been trying to avoid this and say he's also Spider-Man, which is stupid. It's really stupid. Every time there's a new character, they just name him something new. They refused to do that with Miles. Because, he's also Spider-Man, though. He's like, but he's not. Yeah, but he's also... No. No,
sir.
Look at how stupid these powers are. What, she's shooting lightning out of his hand? Why do black people always have to have lightning powers?
Lightning.
Bolt, and then you had static shock. Yeah, I don't understand. He could just have spider powers. Those are cool. Spider powers are cool.
No, he's got to differentiate himself. I mean, not because he's not Spider-Man, but
Yeah, he can't differentiate himself because he needs the same name, but he can't be different. But he's got to be different, so he has different, cooler street design for his costume. I don't know. Miles Morales.
I mean, that kind of seems like what they were doing. It's like, hey, we have to make him cooler than Peter Parker, so that people will actually jump on the bandwagon here. It's not going to work.
No. Here's a fun news story. DC Studios has announced a V for Vendetta series and as well as other projects, despite the fact that their status as whether or not they're going to be sold off is in the air. So who knows if this V for Vendetta adaptation will even exist. in the future.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah. How do you so just to give you a minor update, the story still remains that Paramount really wants Warner Discovery, and they keep denying their proposals. Well, Comcast has weighed in as possible purchaser, as well as Netflix, and out of nowhere with the DDT is Saudi Arabia also throwing money, like maybe they'll buy Warner Brothers.
That's funny.
What is with American culture getting whored out to the Saudis lately, or at least the Gulf states? Because like
China, though,
WWE
has been buying stuff.
doing it for a while. NBA has like an Emirates Cup.
Yeah.
You know, the Saudis are wanting to invest in video games and all this stuff. Like, what is like? We're just some corporations just that desperate for Saudi money, huh?
Yeah,
money.
they'll take money no matter what, as long as it's green. That they don't care where it comes from, which makes you question whether or not they cared about your values or whatever in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, it's like, oh, we hate, exploitation of companies. Also, I have a show on Apple TV, with some of the
Very
worst
important.
worker conditions that people throw themselves off of roofs rather than work in the factory to the point that they put up nets to catch people from jumping off the factory roof.
That's not in the movie division, all right? I don't know anything about it.
Imagine that was the same problem with the movie division, that at the Apple studios they had to put nets around the It's a corporate policy, all Apple buildings, and they're like, this film makes me feel uncomfortable.